As usual, via the NIMSY live stream. We are on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I believe we are on Instagram. It's always iffy with that one. I am coming today really quickly. I don't have a guest or anybody today. I don't have anything super exciting, but I wanted to talk about an upcoming event that we are sponsoring here at NIMSY, and it's all about quarterly business reviews and how you can use these as a tool to tell better stories internally. And storytelling is the new corporate credibility. If you want to get something done, if you have an initiative that you'd like to push, if you have an improvement, you may have really good ideas. Your ideas may be the best ideas in the whole industry, in the whole company. If you can't distill those ideas into a meaningful story that your audience, whoever that might be, that your audience is receptive and able to hear and speaks their language, then you're not going to get much done. And one language that, let's just say, upper management type folk like to speak is the language of data, specifically the language of money or data surrounding money, but especially the language of data. So that's what we're going to be looking at in this upcoming QBR. This is just a sneak peek that I want to go over a couple slides that I'm going to be using in that. But go ahead, sign up. It's over here. It's being hosted on LinkedIn. Just go over to LinkedIn, search for NIMSY Insights, and you'll see this event pop up. It's called Quarterly Business Reviews and Data-Driven Storytelling. Super easy to sign up. And even there's a poll here, and this is what I wanted to talk about today. 43% of the people that have responded to the poll, out of this, I mean, this is not a huge scientific poll here, but 43% of the people that have responded said that one of the things that they're expecting to get out of this workshop on QBRs is how to set expectations with the C-suite. So how to set expectations with upper management. So let's take a look at that, shall we? Because we have a whole section on this. And thank you to my colleague Miguel Sepulveda over at King, and he also does work for us here at NIMSY, for putting together some of these slides, because this is from a deck. This is from actually a custom workshop that we do. And this is, I forget the name of the workshop, but this is for a workshop that we do for client-side companies in the localization industry that want to have some ideas around how to better talk about localization in a way that doesn't make their boss's eyes completely glaze over. So this is section 5 of, I think, like 7, and we're talking about data. So the first thing about data is, and I don't want to spend a ton of time talking about data here live with you today, but the first thing to understand, don't overcomplicate it. Just don't overcomplicate the data process. You can have dozens of KPIs. You can have hundreds of KPIs if you really want to. But really what you want to track is time, quality, and cost. And I would add a fourth one in there of you want to be tracking user experience too. If you're working, especially if you work for like a B2C company, but even in B2B environments, user experience. Because what is quality if you have no idea of how your end users are actually perceiving your product? So you can complicate it, but don't let perfection get in the way of getting something that's up and running. Get started today. Find something that works for you. Find something that works for your team. Find some data that you're already collecting or will be super easy to automate the collection thereof, and go ahead, dive right in. Now, when it comes to presenting data, lots of different tips, and we're going to go through these. We will be going through these in the QBR deck, but really quickly, let's run through them. Before you even start working on a presentation, make sure that you know who your audience is. Is this C-level? Are they senior? What keeps them up at night? What challenges do they have? Know who they are. Know who you're talking to. Don't walk into any situation blind. To capture their attention, tell a story. End with a call to action. Storytelling can be powerful. Graphs are powerful. Spreadsheets are powerful. But stories are also powerful. Generally, the more formats or the more different modalities that you can use when conveying your message, the more likelihood that that message is going to be heard, understood, and most importantly, retained. Develop a 3-minute story and a big idea for the overall presentation. So the story doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be simple. Have different versions of the story. Once again, going back to know your audience. Does your audience have time for a long story, or do they just want the details? Do they just want a one pager? Visuals can help you with this. There are a lot of really good materials out there around how. A lot of good training courses out there. Miguel, my colleague I mentioned, he's really knowledgeable about this, about how to organize and present your data in such a way where it's going to have the maximum impact. It's really going to get your point across. Anything extra, anything superfluous, get rid of it. Get rid of it. Just get rid of it right now. And the reason for that is because it is a distraction. If you have extra data in your presentation, in your deck, in your whatever format it is that you're doing, it's not helping you. If it's not contributing towards the story that you're trying to tell, the call to action that you're working towards, which is to say that the action that you want your audience to take, then it's just noise. And this can be super, super tough, because what if you work really hard to get that data? And what if the graphs look really pretty? And what if you're really proud of that data? What if it tells a different story that you're really proud of and you want that to be highlighted? Tough. Cut it. Cut it. It's not needed. If it's not needed. So be very clear. That's why it's important to understand, as we talked about, in these upper bullet points, what story are you trying to tell? What is the call to action? What is the goal? So always, and last, always go back, recheck your logic, take a look at it, make sure, okay, am I crazy? Is this working out the way that I think it's supposed to? Have it double checked by somebody else. Send it to a colleague. Send it to a boss. Collaborate with people on it. There is wisdom in the multitude of counselors, so make sure to be getting other people's eyes on it. And this actually, as you're going around getting other people's eyes on it, collecting feedback, getting recommendations on it, that can actually go a long way towards this last point here, which is managing resistance. Let's say managing resistance to change. It says people resist new ideas. Help them understand why a new approach works by clearly stating its benefits. So, yes, we want to state the benefits when we're, in the deck, in the presentation, in the pitch, in the speech, whatever it may be. But ideally, we are going back and we are taking a look at their expectations, understanding them, and then managing them before we even get to the pitch process. So what do I mean by that? I also said this relates to the previous point, which is rechecking it with other people. As you're rechecking it with other people, send it to some of your stakeholders. Send it to some of the people that you're trying to convince and say, hey, this is a draft of something that I'm working on. Is there any way that you can provide feedback on this? And what you're doing there is you're getting feedback. You need that feedback. So, that's the surface level goal. But more importantly, you're giving them a chance to buy in. You're giving them a chance to take ownership. You're giving them a chance to really feel a part of whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, whatever story it is that you are trying to tell. So that's it. That's some of our, just a really quick intro here. And it's section 5. There's a whole bunch of sections. We also talk about KPI pitfalls. We talk about what else we got on the list here? We talk about your elevator pitch. This is a good one, but you know what? I am going to save this one for either another time, because I really didn't want to be doing this a long time today. I think I've been going about 10 minutes now. So we'll either say this for another time, or guess what? You're going to have to show up. You're going to have to sign up for that webinar. Once again, the way that you do that is really simple. You can just head on over to NIMSY's LinkedIn page here. It's going to be hosted on LinkedIn. It is a LinkedIn event. That's the only place it's going to be. We might stream it out to a few other channels, but just go over here, click share, or click attend event, and it's going to ask you permission, I think, to use your information. And once you've attended that event, hit the share button. Tell everybody that you're going to be coming to this event. Invite anybody else that you think would benefit from it, which is basically anybody who's interested in telling better stories. Those better stories can be to your bosses. Those better stories can be to your clients. Those better stories can be to your team. Because we're going to be talking about this very powerful tool, which is using QBRs, quarterly business reviews, as just one tool that we have in our arsenal on how to tell better stories. So if that sounds like something interesting to you, come on over, sign up. Even if it's not interesting, sign up anyways. It helps my metrics, and it makes me feel better as a human being in this world. And with that, I will wish you a wonderful day, and get out of here. Oh, let's head on over to the comments really quick. No? Anybody in the comments? Oscar, this is really interesting. Thank you, Oscar. Man, I got to get better about giving you guys shout-outs in the comments. I apologize for that. Thank you, Oscar. We will see you there. Invite your friends, invite your family, invite your dog. It'll be a good time. Ciao.